President Donald Trump has authorized U.S. immigration authorities to conduct arrests at schools, churches, and hospitals, reversing a long-standing policy that classified these locations as off-limits for enforcement. According to the Department of Homeland Security, this would help to eliminate spaces where individuals could evade arrest. Under this policy, the Immigration and Customs Enforcement, that's ICE, has been empowered to quickly deport undocumented individuals who cannot prove continuous residency in the U.S. for over 2 years. These changes are part of a broader crackdown on immigration by Trump's administration, including measures to suspend the refugee system, block an app facilitating U.S. entry, and enhance cooperation between ICE and local governments. However, the new policies have sparked widespread opposition from advocacy groups and religious leaders. Now joining us via Zoom from Belgium is Global Affairs Analyst Collins Nweke. Good morning. It's good to have you join us, Collins.
Very good morning to you, Veronica. Thank you for having me.
Now, Trump had a flurry of executive orders that he put pen to paper when he came in early this year, talking about some days ago. And he said he wants to rid America of criminals, especially in these spaces that have been called restricted sites. I'm wondering from your perspective if this would have any impact as much, especially on criminal activities in the U.S., because for him, the U.S. has to return to its golden era.
Once more, thank you for having me. Well, this is not coming as a surprise. Neither is he making such statements for the first time. His campaign to return to the White House was actually dominated by such rhetorics. Let's recall that when he first ran, he also ran on anti-immigration sentiments like this. He made some attempts to enforce some of what he has now unfolded during his first term, but he didn't quite succeed. So he is doing exactly what he promised Americans that he would do when he becomes president. And the Americans agreed with him that it was the right direction to take America by voting him in, overwhelmingly, I must add. And so this shouldn't surprise anyone. Now, what we will then be talking about is how likely is he going to get away with this? Now, it has been made clear from some of the reactions that have come, not just reactions from Democrats and some Republicans, but also from the courts, that this is certainly not going unchallenged. So, yes, announcement is made. The enforcement, of course, is another thing if, actually contested in court. Is he going to rid America of criminals? I doubt that it will have, any consequential effect. And Donald Trump and Republicans actually know this. They know that the number of people that they are talking about are very, very, insignificant. The number of people who are criminals, undocumented, non-citizens who commit criminal offenses, they know the number is insignificant. Right. But for them, it is not about the number. It is about couching their political language, their political rhetorics in a manner that will resonate with, everyday Americans, and to see them as being politically active, right, and trying to save America. Right. This is what this is all about.
If you ask President Donald Trump, he might say that he's not alone on this, because there are some other countries who have actually cancelled the birthright citizenship. For instance, Dominican Republic, Thailand, Ireland, India, Australia, France, etc. And then they would say that, it is our right to protect our country, make America great again, as Donald Trump has always said. But then, what legal hurdles do you consider awaiting Trump, or pushbacks that he might face with some of these executive orders that he has brought up, especially the one we are discussing right now?
Well, the point, Ibrahim, is that the countries that you have mentioned that actually, have enforced or the cancellation of the birthright,
Citizenship.
issue, you probably aren't aware of what their constitution says about these things. It could very well be that in those countries, that those things are not ingrained in their constitution. That's number one. Number two, you also have to talk about or look into the what I can say, the procedure of actually going about it. Now, I'm not a lawyer, but I've heard lawyers talk about this, American lawyers for that matter, who tell us that the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution actually is resolutely against what Donald Trump has now tried to do. So yes, obviously, we are going to expect a barrage of court actions challenging this birthright cancellation.